That dang JWST apparently has hit all concerned and everything, because apparently a recent paper suggests our universe as we know it may be older than 14 billion years. Well, you all know what that means. We conjecture ahead.
Although this is going to be weird, and it's going to be about a different.
Title of the conference was something like "Ground Truth" or "Turtles All the Way Down," and so it seems as though there's one Ruliad. I don't think it rules them all, and it might be just hyper-rulial turtles all the way down.
Yes, it's on the back of an infinite number of hyper-rulial turtles.
Various people are commenting on the outrage of hacking the universe on a MacBook Air.
Hey guys, what's going on? Name's here. Yes. So apparently, I actually learned this from Kali. Shout out to Kali Fisher. But apparently, there was a recent letter published. Excuse me. Where was it? It was basically a court. Oh God, I closed the wrong window. But apparently, it was the Royal Astronomical Society, their monthly notices back on July 13th. They did an article, and we're gonna get into it in just a moment here. But apparently, on July 7th, yeah, they did post an actual very interesting article on phys.org. So the links to everything are in the doobly-doo below. So where are we? All right, here we go. All right, we go to our friend phys.org, and again, take it for what it's worth. New research puts age of universe at 26.7 billion years. Wait a second, let me do some beard scratching. According to the current paradigm, which is the Lambda-CDM, which is basically the cosmological constant, and then cold dark matter. Why? Well, we see galaxies and galaxy clusters. They seem to be spinning and doing things, and we can't quite seem to account for the mass, at least according to our current models and everything. So this is about 13 billion years older than we thought. That's almost times 2. Hit at that time was actually concerned with Goku going Kaioken times 10. So we're not there yet. This does fall, apparently, at least with some of these older, more developed galaxies that the James Webb Space Telescope apparently is observing. Basically, galaxies kind of like our Milky Way, decently formed. But apparently, according to our models, they're like at 300 million years after the Big Bang. It's like, that's surprising. Not impossible according to the models, but if we keep seeing more and more, that may raise some doubts. So let's jump right into it here. The universe could be twice as old as current estimates, according to a new study that challenges the dominant cosmological model and sheds new light on the so-called impossible early galaxy problem. This work, published in the journal Monthly Notices of the Royal Astronomical Society. Oh God, I just assumed things. That's actually what it is. It was promoting fake news. I thought it was the Royal Astronomical Society's monthly notices. I apologize. Quote, our newly devised model stretches the galaxy formation time by several billion years, making the universe 26.7 billion years old, not 13.7 as previously estimated, end quote, says author Randra Gupta, adjunct professor of physics at the Faculty of Science at the University of Ottawa. For years, astronomers and physicists have calculated the age of our universe by measuring the time elapsed since the Big Bang, and by studying the oldest stars based on redshift of light coming from distant galaxies. In 2021, thanks to new techniques and advances in technology, the age of the universe was thus estimated at 13.797 billion years using Lambda-CDM concordance model. So they're basically going into it here, and I just find this very interesting. Full disclosure, I am totally biased, because recently, within the monastery and everything, we had proposed what we deem eternal cyclic cosmology, or at least that's the name I've been playing out with, giving a bit of an homage to Professor Roger Penrose, whose conformal cyclic cosmology. I'm just basically listening to it. I'm like, okay, it sounds like this can make sense to me. And at one point, I believe it was closer to truth. They were doing an interview, and I believe Professor Penrose said there exists a geometric object that may be able to do something like this. That's what I remember from my recollection there. But basically, the link is right here. So monthly notices of the Royal Astronomical Society. As you can see here, basically, these space observations of the James Webb Space Telescope, JWST, have revealed the structure and masses of very early universe galaxies at high redshifts, Z to approximately 15, existing at approximately 0.3 gigayears, so about 300 million years after the Big Bang. Maybe as evolved as the galaxies in existence for probably, so basically before we're at around 14 billion years. That's what we're estimating, like our Milky Way galaxy. It's about 4.5 billion years. So it's about 10 billion years after the Big Bang. And we got stuff like this. It's like, oh, well, if you're going to use logic, and again, I am not a professionally trained physicist, cosmologist, astronomer, astrologer. I am a dude on the internet. But if you're like, okay, so if we figure it's about 10 billion years after the Big Bang as we know it, that we came to be, if we see similar things to what we appear to be, when did it have to take place? Maybe around 10 billion years more. I believe that's where we're kind of getting some of the new models there. So, yeah, as we can see, it stretches the age of the universe to 26.7 giga years. Giga means billion. Where did I learn that? I learned that from Final Fantasy VII, because basically you have Bahamut, and then you have like Neo Bahamut, which basically Mega Flare, Giga Flare, Terra Flare. So one is millions, one is billions, and one is trillion. That's how I actually learned it. Or you could just use Wolfram Alpha. But that's what we got over there. All right. Okay. So just go back, wrap up. Oh my God, it wants to give me all these things. And by give, I mean it wants to sell me stuff. Who would have thought it? However, many scientists have been puzzled by the existence of stars like the Methuselah that appear to be older than the estimated age of our universe, and by the discovery of early galaxies in an advanced state of evolution made possible by the James Webb Space Telescope. These galaxies, existing a mere 300 million years or so after the Big Bang, appear to have a low maturity and mass typically associated with billions of years of cosmic evolution. Furthermore, they're surprisingly small in size, adding another layer of mystery to the equation. They go into, I believe this is Franz Zwicky's tired light theory. So additional things that the coupling constants, basically things like the fine structure constant stuff, may have changed over time. Okay, totally do that. But yeah, we're let's just do the last paragraph here. But basically, they're talking about our current cosmological models, especially the cosmological constant, may need revisiting. Now, full disclosure, again, I am totally biased on this because I at least allegedly, last time at the monastery, that basically did all the hard work, and basically I just searched for the Einstein kappa, which the more and more I think about it, it does kind of sound like Kali's neutron decay cosmology. It's just like, just because of what came up that fit the data, it's like, all right, so it's what's this? The which constant was it? It was it's the one that we only know to like 5 digits. Basically, it's like, all right, you do plus or minus like 1/2. I'm like, okay, well, if lambda's gonna add up to 1, it's like, okay, and if the cyclical model, so it's like, all right, high density matter as far as we know it, black holes, and basically space-time in and of it's basically being folded outward. I mean, that would release the bound energy and everything. As far as I understand, that would look like a Big Bang. It just, I could be completely wrong. I probably am wrong. But the more and more we start to learn, the more and more this really creepily sounds like the things we were saying. Now, again, this is conjecture here. And at the same time, I'm just, people say, oh, you need the receipts, you need the receipts. Okay. I totally believe that. And again, just speculation of a crazy person on the internet. Um, I'm just saying, what's this? Oh, look, the Means of Destruction channel. Is our universe older than 14? Oh, streamed 4 months ago. Interesting. Oh, yeah, and also by consequence, if our universe, as we know it, our realm of persistence, has existed longer than 14 billion years, wouldn't that be more time for, I don't know, more cosmogenesis? Maybe some more. Oh, look, black holes? There was more black holes and things that, I don't know, were quote unquote dark or invisible to us. Doesn't that by definition mean that there would exist more dark matter? If there's been more time for even just our Milky Way stars to go through their cosmic evolutions and everything like that and end up as black holes, I'm just saying that I am a noob, but as a noob, this makes a lot of sense to me. I am still totally biased too. So it is what it is. Again, we're going to have to see what the data and reality is we know what actually say, but even though it might be wrong, if it wasn't, just something to think about. Because we're looking for truth, right? Isn't that what science is? The search for truth? I've had people disagree with me. That's fine. Just, I think we should at least attempt to be less wrong. That's all I got for right now. Peace out, everybody. Take care of yourselves. It's a wacky and wild world out there, but I think the best is yet to come. I claim. Take care of yourselves, everyone.